Joined now by Eryk Anders. Good to see you, mate. How's everything going over there? Thanks for joining me.
And everything's going well, man. I apologize for missing you earlier, but I'm glad that we could reconnect now.
Nice one. Back up against Darren Stewart. Not the way you want to fight to end last time out. Are you pleased that you guys got to run it back quickly?
Man, it really didn't matter to me, to be honest. Yeah, obviously not the way you want to fight. You want not a way you want the fight to end, but at the same time, if I throw that knee a minute into the fight, he takes his time, recovers, and the fight goes on. But it happened in the fourth minute, and of course, after the barrage that he went through, of course he's not going to be coherent enough to answer any questions. So, it is what it is. The UFC wanted to run it back, so here we are.
Are you disappointed with how it went? Has your mood changed from right when it happened to having had some time to think about it a bit more?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be kicking myself in the butt for that one for forever and a day, even after this one, because it could be somebody else, a higher ranked guy, or whatever the case may be. But I'm not really too much worried about it because this is what's in front of me now. So I kind of put it behind me, and I'm gonna do it right this time.
I'm out in Asia covering a lot of Asian MMA, so rising, you can do that. You can knee a grounded opponent. Is that a rule change you would like to see? Do you think that we should be more open to that, or you like the rules as they are?
Yeah, I think it should be fair because I don't think that there should be a position in which your opponent, the person who's being offensive, has strikes taken off the table. A guy just beat Mighty Mouse, one of the best to ever do it, like that, some people kind of like, play that defensive game, they just sit there in the corner of the cage, covering their heads. So, it takes forever for the refs to stop the fight because you're punching their hand and not their, not their actual face. So, why does the offensive person get punished and get offense taken off the table because the other person doesn't move, or whatever the case may be?
So are you confident more so than in an ordinary fight going into this one, knowing that you were having such a good time in the first meeting? Do you feel like you have his number going into this one?
Yeah, I feel the same way that I felt going into that fight, but the only difference is I felt him. I'm sure that he'll make adjustments. I'm sure that, he's lifting hard and, working on his conditioning and, his skill set and whatnot. So I don't know what he's going to do differently. Don't care what he's going to do differently. I'm just going to, go out there and build on, what I've been working on from the first fight to this fight. And, it's a new fight. Every fight has a life and history of its own. So, I just got to go out there and impose my will like I did last time.
Confident of getting the knockout? You got a lot of awesome finishes in your career. Do you think, do you smell another one here?
Yeah, I think that I definitely have more ways to win. I think his only way to win is a knockout. I think if it goes 15 minutes, I win a decision. I think if it goes to the ground, I'm the better grappler. And I also have the chance to knock him out as well, too. So, yeah, I just think that I have more ways to win.
This is pretty much top to bottom. This is something else, this card, right? How pleased are you just to be a part of this absolute banger, 263?
Man, it's awesome. And, I'm a fight fan and a fighter. So, it's cool on cards like this. I can go, especially with crowds now, I can, win my fight, do my interviews, take a shower, go back to the hotel, change clothes, and, go back to the arena and drink a beer with the fam. So, that's my plan for the fight. And, it's going to be good to watch fights after I fight. It's always fun to do that.
As a fan, which one are you most looking forward to? Which one's got the most fireworks, you think?
I think that Figueroa and Brandon Moreno will be the most competitive fight. I really haven't looked at the whole card or really even the main card. I just know, Diaz and Leon Edwards, and then the 2 title fights. But I think the Figueroa and Moreno is going to be the most competitive one out of those 3.
Does Marvin have a shot of it being any different against Izzy this time?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you got 4-ounce gloves, anything can happen. And, I'm sure he hits hard and he could catch Izzy, but I don't think Israel makes too many mistakes. And I think that he's the kind of guy that if you beat him, it has to be the first time because, I'm sure that he thinks, he's seen Marvin fighting recently. He's wrestling everybody. And especially after that Yan fight, Israel probably thinks that everybody's going to try and take him down. So I'm sure he's working on his takedown defense and getting back up. And I have to think he's super crafty and tricky. So I think that if you beat him, it has to be the first time because after he's felt you and learned you, it's going to be pretty difficult to get him the second time.
Do you still keep an eye on 185? Do you still feel that affinity for that division? Or have you said goodbye to that one for good now?
Nah, this is Darren Stewart's to fight at 205. I prefer to fight at middleweight, but I think middleweight is my class, and I think I'd like to fight at middleweight after this fight. So, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. So, I was wondering. I mean, often when you see fighters move up, it's that because they've got that extra level of strength and comfort. When you don't have to cut as much, you feel stronger, right? But it's interesting that 185 is still your division. So, So how much? I guess it's more relevant to you than ever, that main event, then, because either of those guys could be in your future if you keep winning.
Yeah, well, either way, if I keep winning, or it's usually the guy who loses the title fight, loses the belt, that usually becomes the guy that you got to beat to get to the belt. So I keep doing my thing. Eventually, I'm gonna have to see one or both of those guys.
How's everything been going? Is everything pretty free now over there? Like a lot of places in the States seem a lot more open now. Training seems a lot more easier than it was last year. Is that the case?
Yeah, Arizona's wide open out here where I'm training, where the fight's going to be. And it was, back in March, the gym was open and, we were training and getting after it. So, it'll be fun.
Have you got the same striking coach as the Korean Zombie?
Yeah, Eddie Cha. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. The Zombie's kind of a fan favorite. Do you think he's going to get back to the win column in his next fight?
I mean, he certainly has a tough fight in front of him and with Ige. And, I see him working in the gym, working really hard, getting better every day. So, I'm sure it'll be a super fun fight for the fans to watch.
Yeah, I feel like it. Those two guys love to go at it. Huh? A lot of people still locked down. I'm in Malaysia, we're locked down. Thailand's locked down. So, what is the greatest TV show ever in your opinion? So some fans can get the Eryk Anders recommendations.
Man, I just finished this cartoon called Invincible. That's on Amazon Prime, I think. It's kind of like a little superhero thing. And man, it's pretty good. It's pretty graphic, pretty violent, a lot of cussing, the way I like my cartoons. So, it's good.
I think one of the best moments in MMA is when when your fight announcement, when he says your boy Eryk Anders, it's something special when Buffer does that. Where did that name come from? Who started calling you? Is that from your football days?
Nah, I just man, it's just kind of the way I talk, help your boy out, let your boy borrow $5, You hear a lot of people say it, but it just kind of stuck with me for some reason.
I just think it's funny when Bruce Buffer says it, though. It's just gold coming out of his mouth.
Yeah. Well, anytime he says anybody's name, I think it's pretty. He does a pretty phenomenal job of it.
Awesome. And well, we're in May now, you know, the year's already quite through, but what's the biggest goal for you for this year?
You know, I want to fight one more time, at least one more time this year. So rack up 2 wins before the end of the year. You know, taking into 2022 on a win streak.
Is there I mean, without wanting to look past what you're doing, because I mean, you have a task ahead of you, but is there any name at 85 or 205 that really excites you, that somebody before it's all said and done, you just have to fight that guy?
Um, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I haven't really looked at the landscape of either division. I'm really just more focused on Darren. But you know, on fight week, I have a lot more off time than I do now to, you know, kind of think about things. So, you know, I'll probably go through the division and you know, see what fight makes sense for me, and you know, take it from there.
Who do you think's been the most impressive individual, just from your personal opinion, like whether it's in and outside of the octagon? Who's really impressed you this year?
This year, Bruno Silva. He just fought this past weekend. You know, he knocked out JP Buys. Striking looks phenomenal. And then, you know, his last 2 fights, he's gotten picked up bonuses. So, you know, I think he started his UFC career 0-3, I believe, or 0-2. And then, you know, just for whatever reason, just has made so much improvement. Maybe he got his swagger back, his confidence up. And he trains here at Fight Ready. So just seeing him get prepared for fights and, you know, go out there and implement these things and win fights in under a minute, it's pretty impressive.
Good shout, man. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time as ever. Good luck against Darren. Good to speak to you, Eryk. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you so much for having me.